Hey guys, Mr. Pitt. And if you don't recognize me, you're in the wrong class or you sleep too much. I want to talk to you a little bit about battery chargers. I showed you a little bit about those whenever we set the wire on fire, put too many amps through it, but I kind of want to show you the correct operation and some of the features of that. So we've got our typical Blue Point brand battery charger. It's got the clamps. Black is for negative, red is for positive, and there's not really much to it. It plugs into the wall, and you've got a selector here for off, and there's a 6-volt setting as well. Most of our car batteries are 12 volts, but this is for things like old tractors, golf carts, things like that. We've also got a battery maintainer, 12 volts, 10 amp, and guys, typically the slower you charge something, the lower the amperage, the better it is for the battery. You don't want to burn that thing up and try to force too many amps through it. But there's also a 40 amp setting, and then there's a 200 amp setting, and this is just a dial knob. Okay, this one's not plugged in, so it's not a real big deal. So we've got a 200 amp setting, and 200 amps is a lot, and that's a jump start. And so you can hook these up to your battery while it's connected to the car, and select this, and then we'll turn the timer on. Okay, you don't want to leave that on too much, especially on 200 amp, because it'll burn the battery up and it will cause gassing, and we'll talk about that more this week. There's an ammeter. Okay, a meter that tells you what kind of amps you've got going on. And again, this was not plugged up, and so we don't have any dangers of amperage coming out of this thing. But the timer is in minutes, and so it will tick all the way down. Then whenever you're done, it goes to off. Okay, now you can also put it down and it stays on indefinitely. Okay, you don't want to do something like that with 200 amp or even 40 amp or 10 amp. Maybe on the maintainer, and that's about it. Okay, so make sure whenever you're done with this thing to turn it off. And that's just a real quick view of our battery charger.